Hi everyone, it is time for a new, really exciting reading vlog, and today I'm starting like a new subcategory of my Quest After Fave series, and that's gonna be reading five-star books of like a booktuber that I think has similar tastes to me. So today is gonna be Chandler from Chandler Ainsley, and I feel like we have really similar tastes and we care about very similar things in books. And so I thought this would be really fun and that there would definitely be a high chance to find some books that I really enjoy. In my last video, I read Fudwa's all-time favorite books, so that was just books that they absolutely completely, adore. So this is like a little bit less hardcore version of that. So I'm just gonna quickly go through the books that I'm gonna be reading in this video. I normally don't do that, so tell me if you like seeing the TBR in videos or if you just wanted to jump to the reading vlog, but there are going to be timestamps on the timeline and in the description down below, so if you don't care about the TBR and you just want to jump into the reading vlog, you can definitely do that. So let's talk about the books. So I am going to be reading Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey. This is actually like, it's funny because Chandler, when I was planning the video, she posted a story on Instagram that was just recommending this book and like gushing about it and telling people that everyone needs to read it. So I'm going to put the story up on the screen to show you kind of what she said about it, and it just sounded like it's right up my alley. And so I'm going to be reading that. Then I'm going to be reading Far From the Tree. This is a YA contemporary, and I actually kind of like went through Chandler's Goodreads and I just looked at what books she's given 5 stars. And then like out of those, I just kind of clicked on any books that I was vibing with, any books that I maybe kind of knew about, and just thought that I would enjoy them. So this was one of them, and she's actually like mentioned it in a video before, and so I knew she loved it, and like I didn't remember details, but like the feeling that I remembered was that I would probably enjoy this book. Then I'm gonna be reading Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This one I feel like Chandler read quite a while ago, but so many other romance booktubers have talked about this book, so I thought it'd be interesting and fun to see what I think about this book. And with this one, it's kind of the only one that I didn't have the completely 5-star feeling about. But, stay tuned to find out if it did end up being a 5-star or not. And then I'm going to be reading Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This book is kind of like a YA, I don't know if it's like historical fiction. It's set in the 80s, and it's like a coming of age story. And last but not least, I'm going to be reading Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase, which is an adult historical romance that's like an OG romance that is super popular and beloved. And yeah, so I'm gonna shut up now and let's just jump straight into the reading vlog. So I have officially started the first book, which is Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm at 37%. I'm listening to the audiobook. So I'm just having the feeling of like, holy fucking shit, like I want to keep reading this, and it's not only because it's for a video, like that doesn't even matter, like I'm just having such a great time that I don't want to do anything else, which is just the best feeling. And it's funny because I don't know if I said it earlier in the video, but Chandler gave Fixer Up 3 stars and she wasn't like super impressed. I gave it 3 stars and I enjoyed it, but I did have quite a few issues, and I feel like this book might give me like some of the similar fun feelings, but like much better. And I like everything is just so much better. Basically, this book is about Wes and Bethany, and they're kind of enemies. Not, I wouldn't fully say it's enemies to lovers, because I don't know. I just feel like in contemporary, every time someone says enemies, it's not actually enemies, but the type of enemies they are is just they keep on teasing each other, having banter, making fun of each other, that kind of shit that is mostly playful and absolutely amazing to read. So much fun. So they have the kind of thing that they're like, I don't like you, like I don't want you at all, but obviously they absolutely do, and the chemistry between them, the sexual tension is absolutely through the roof, and it's giving me a life. And just the vibe between them is so fucking good. Like they're making fun of each other, but at the same time already in the beginning it's clear that like they understand each other and they have a connection that is way deeper than either of them wants to admit. When it comes to the things that matter, they're absolutely supportive and obviously don't make fun of each other or anything like that, which is just the absolute best thing ever. And they basically team up to, I forgot what it's called, but like to restore a house and put it together. Yeah, oh my gosh, the thing that Chandler said on her story, that the heroine just is an extreme perfectionist and just wants to be understood and appreciated and everything. I can totally see that. And the beautiful thing is that like Wes already sees that and is really supportive, which I love it. If you didn't like the previous two books, I do think that you could still definitely give it a chance, especially if you liked some elements of it. If you maybe liked the sexual tension or like the fun banter or anything. I read the first book, I didn't read the second one. I think Chandler is the same. I didn't read the second book because I heard a lot of people say kind of like not the best things about it. So I was just like, the things that they said, I was just like, I don't think I want to do that, but super excited. And yeah. Hi everyone, so I want to make the actual update when I'm done with the book, but I'm at 65% and I'm loving it so much. I'm absolutely in love with the book, with the main characters and their relationship, and it's just amazing and I love it. So, I have officially finished reading Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey, and I loved it. It was absolutely amazing, and I can totally see why Chandler liked it, and I loved it too. And it's a 5-star for me. So I absolutely loved Wes and Bethany so much. They didn't only have such a strong chemistry and sexual tension, but they also had a really clear emotional connection. It was clear that they could help each other with the things that they were struggling with, that they were just really good for each other. And I loved how they grew closer emotionally and how they finally admitted that they had feelings. Another thing that I didn't say is that Wes is actually taking care of his niece and he wants to get like guardianship, and so he finally is thinking like, I've been moving around for a while and maybe I could finally settle down somewhere. And I really liked that part of it. I love single parent romances so much. There's just something about it that it's so beautiful and I love it. So I definitely want to do like a recommendation video on that. It was so hot as well. And it was just so good. Like it wasn't, I feel like the first book was really steamy and I don't know if I fully loved the emotional romantic parts of it, but here it was like super steamy and like the tension was there and it was like really intense in that way, but at the same time I felt like it was really intense in a romantic emotional way as well. One thing that I do want to mention that I didn't love in it is the gendered language that Tessa Bailey uses, especially with like in the steamy scenes and shit like that. Like she used some words that I felt like were not ideal. I do feel like Tessa Bailey writes very straight and cis books, and this was one thing that I just didn't really love. It, I feel like, has a very cishet energy, and this especially, like the words were just not great, and I hope that she stops using them in the future. So I just wanted to point that out. Besides that, it was just such a great book, and I read it so quickly and I enjoyed every second of it. It was just the kind of romance where I was just so invested. I didn't want to stop reading. Typically, I absolutely despise the third act conflict. And I can't say that I enjoyed it. But I did really like the way that it was done here. I felt like it made so much sense. It wasn't anything dumb. It wasn't super drawn out. If you didn't like the first book or the second book, but I feel like if you completely hated everything about the first book and the vibe and everything, then this is probably not gonna be for you. But if you kind of liked elements of it, but didn't love it, and it was just kind of mediocre, like, then I would say definitely try this one out. Because again, both me and Chandler, we gave it 3 stars. We weren't super impressed. But this was amazing. So I am just really happy this is working out so well. And I really wonder if it's that I have low standards or if I'm really good at knowing when I'm gonna like a book. Cause if you haven't seen the previous Quest After Faves videos, I have found so many favorites and there has not been a single book that I absolutely hated in this whole series. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up. I need to decide what I'm gonna read next, and I'm gonna update you when I start that. Hi everyone, so I have started the next book, which is gonna be Far From the Tree, and I just checked what the author's name is and didn't remember it, but it is gonna be up on the screen. And fun fact, I was going to take a quick break from this video because there's another vlog that I realized should come first because it should be up already. So that is the adult romance arc vlog, and so obviously I want to make sure to read the books before they come out, or like really close to the release date. So I was going to start a different book, which I actually I did make a book look for it. It is The Wicked Bargain for the Duke by Megan Frampton, because I just know I'm gonna adore it, and I was in the mood for this very intense red thing going on. So I am absolutely fucking beyond excited to read that book, and I am going to start the book very soon. I just was in the mood for an audiobook, and I started this book, and I got so invested immediately that I was like, okay, I'm gonna read this first, which literally Wicked Bargain for the Duke is one of my most anticipated releases. I cannot fucking believe that I have it. And so the fact that this is keeping my attention so much that I can resist reading that a little bit longer is incredible. So, so this book is a YA contemporary, and Chandler actually read it in one of her videos, and I forgot what it was, but I'm gonna try to find it and link it down below. And I didn't remember all the things that she said about it because I don't have a good memory of what people say in details. I just remember if people, like, if the person likes the book or not. So I forgot that this basically follows 3 siblings. So I thought that it was just your normal typical YA contemporary romance that follows, you know, like the main character and then a love interest. And that is not what this is. So it follows 3 main characters. We have Maya, Joaquin, and Chloe? I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Again, I double checked before talking and I forgot it because my memory is great. But it follows the 3 of them, and Chloe, I really fucking hope that's her name. She actually gets pregnant she like gets pregnant before the book starts, and I do, like, when I read that I remembered that Chandler had said that. But she gives birth to her daughter and she gives her up for adoption. And the really interesting thing with that is that the 3 main characters are biological siblings, but they were all, well, 2 of them were given up for adoption, and Joaquin ended up in the foster care system. And so the 3 of them actually now, like, go on this journey of meeting each other and learning about each other and kind of becoming family in a way, and I fucking love it. This is really emotional, and it's a lot about family, and like that is the main thing. And I don't know if there's going to be any kind of romance, but so far it's really heavily about family and each of the main characters, like, journey, like what they're dealing with and everything. And I am enjoying it so fucking much. Like I said, I have been hooked since the start, and I did not expect this. Like, obviously, I picked all these books for this video because I thought that I would really fucking love them and that they had 5-star potential. But I feel like because about this one, I haven't heard anyone else talk about it, only Chandler, and like I do really fucking trust Chandler, obviously, but since I just haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, and since I didn't really know anything before going into the book, I just wasn't particularly like super excited about it, and I thought that it would be a good book, but I didn't think that I would connect to it that strongly for no reason. It just was a feeling, and I was wrong. And I love how the three of them are really different, but there is a really strong bond between them already in a really special way. And this book is just so fucking cool, and I am really fucking enjoying it. And this is like, it is not unexpected, but I still didn't expect it. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Also, one more thing, I really like the audiobook. I really like the narration. There's one narrator, but it's really working for me. It's great. And yes, so I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna update you later. Hi everyone, so I'm once again doing like a really quick excited update because I am not much further into the book, but I'm still very much enjoying it. And first of all, Chloe is not the character's name, it is Grace. I'm a dumbass. Please pretend that I said the right name that whole time. And oh my gosh, so Grace, basically something happened at school and she met this boy and it was super cute and funny and like awkward, but I was like, oh my fucking god, please tell me they're gonna have a romance together, cause I was just rooting for them immediately and I was vibing with it, and then it kind of seemed like, they just wouldn't see each other again. But I still had hope, and guess what? They ran into each other, and they're gonna hang out, and I obviously can't know if it's gonna grow into a romance, but I really do think it is, and I'm hoping it is, and I'm absolutely living for it. Like, there's just such a beautiful, like, vibe between them. I'm so happy and I'm so excited. So that was all that I wanted to tell you for now. And I'm gonna go read and update you when I'm done with the book. Hi everyone, so it is time for an update. I maybe should have waited for the morning so that the lighting and everything could be better, but I think it's fine, hopefully. And the Comfortathon, aka the readathon that I'm hosting, is happening in an hour, and I need to make myself busy with as many things as possible because, like, I'm so excited. I'm losing my shit and I want to start reading for it already. And yeah, and I want to talk to you about Far From the Tree. Holy fucking shit. So it's still the same day, I'm wearing a different shirt, but I pretty much spent the entire day listening to this book until I finished it because I could not stop. It was incredible, and like I already told you that I expected it to be a really good book. I expected to read it and think, oh my gosh, this is so well done. But holy fucking shit, I connected to the characters so fucking much. I felt so much for them. This book deals with a lot of serious things and sad things and heavy things, like Joaquin had some really bad experiences throughout the years when he was in foster care, and he deals a lot with that. Like, each of the three main characters has a different kind of sadness in them, and I feel like that made me feel so connected to them and so invested in the story. And Grace, had to give up her daughter, and that made her feel so many different things. And Maya's parents are kind of arguing, and it's kind of on the way to divorce, and there's even like the theme of alcoholism in relation to Maya's mom. So definitely like trigger warning for that. And so the three of them are just dealing with so many different things. And all three of them actually also have different kind of like love stories. There isn't romance in this exactly. Like, it's not a book that is about romance, but it's just about love, and the romantic relationships fall under that, but it's not the only part of it. And I fucking love that. And we got only like tiny little pieces of the romances, but I felt like they were perfect. Like, each of them made so much sense. Each of them was one that I was really invested in, and it was just amazing. And Maya actually also is a lesbian, and so she is in a relationship with another girl, and so that is a part of the book, which is so cute, and I loved it. And so at the beginning of the book, they're already an established couple. Such an emotional, such a raw, beautiful story about just found family and love and belonging and figuring yourself out and finding your place in the world and figuring out what family means. And it's just such an incredible and impactful story. And more people need to read this book. Like, I have a few people who read it and like rated it highly besides Chandler on Goodreads, but it's not a book. Like, if it weren't for Chandler, I would not have found this book. So please check this book out. It is such an incredible YA contemporary. I will definitely think about it again, and I think I might even get a physical copy at some point so that I can reread it, because this is a story that will stick with me forever. And in case it wasn't clear, this is a 5-star, and it's even definitely like one of my new favorite YA contemporary books because it's just so incredibly well done. I'm gonna shut up now, and you should all pick up this book and read it because it's seriously absolutely incredible, and I love it, and holy fucking shit. So it is time to read the next book, and that is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. So I got to 17%, and I normally like to update a little bit later, but I was just already having some thoughts, so we're gonna do a quick update now. So this book is an adult romance, and it's about Jordan and Pike. I think I just checked the names, but my memory's trash, so let's hope I said it right and not like with Far From the Tree when I literally said a completely different name. So this is like a taboo, steamy romance that is basically the heroine ends up getting together with her boyfriend's dad. So the book starts with her still being with the boyfriend, and at this point, she's still with her boyfriend, and I am not the biggest fan of that. So basically, let's rewind a little bit. So I don't know if I said it at the beginning of the video, but this book is kind of like the only one in this video that I'm not fully expecting to be a 5-star. So all the other ones, I tried to pick books that I really thought could be 5 stars for me. This one I wasn't completely sure about. It's kind of more like a 4-star prediction, honestly, which is why I still wanted to read it. Chandler, a while ago, especially like when I found her channel, she talked about the book a lot, and I know that Rayleigh Marie talked a lot about the book, and a lot of other romance booktubers have talked about the book, and it's a really popular indie romance. I do think I'm gonna enjoy it, so I want to read it for that reason. So far, I'm interested, and I do think that the romance is gonna be amazing, but nothing really has happened with it yet. I don't need the characters in the romance to necessarily get together quickly, obviously, but like I want it to start building up to that, and so far it's like they're attracted to each other and stuff, but like nothing is happening yet. So I'm just really impatient to get to that because I think that I'm gonna love those parts. And I just got to the halfway point of Birthday Girl, and I have a lot of thoughts. So I am enjoying this book. But I do have a few issues with it. One thing that I really didn't like is there were a few comments that were kind of a little bit fat-phobic at the beginning of the book. It wasn't like about a specific person, but it was just like the kind of comment that just, makes you a little bit uncomfortable. And then I feel like Pike is a little bit like, he's just the kind of character who I wouldn't call him, what's the word? Possessive? Is that the word? But he does make some comments. Wants to like protect the heroine and everything, and sometimes he crosses a line. So like it's a little bit annoying, but like I don't feel like it's too bad. And then I have, in terms of structure, I definitely have an issue with that still, we are at the halfway point, and like this romance is a slow burn romance, and at the same time it's a forbidden romance, and like it makes sense for for the author not to make it, you know, easy and not to solve that immediately. So it definitely takes a long time to for Jordan to break up with her boyfriend, but at this point, we finally made it. And it does definitely have the effect of like, I'm really getting desperate and like, I want the two main characters to just make out already, you know? So, like, it does definitely do that, which I'm sure is the purpose. And like, I do really like that feeling of, you know, when you're just rooting for the characters and you just want them to fucking like get their shit together already and just get together. And so I am definitely really invested in the romance, and like I wanted to get somewhere already, and like it's frustrating but in a good way, but still I do think that this book should have been shorter. I do think the second half is going to be much more fun and like quicker. Well, yeah, I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna talk to you when I finish the book. Okay. It is time to talk about Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I just finished it and I have a lot of thoughts. All of the points that I said still stand. I think the first half should have been shorter. I think the whole book should have been shorter. The third act conflict, I felt like it took 10 million years, and I was just like, fuck this. I want it all to be solved already. Besides that, like, I did really like the chemistry between them, and they did feel like they were right for each other. And what Chandler said about it that she really liked was just that there are two people who want the same things in life right now. They're like at a similar stage in their life, even though they are not the same age. I just have kind of mixed feelings because the age gap. I mean, when you go into a book where the main character literally gets together with her ex-boyfriend's dad, like, you know, it's supposed to be taboo. It's supposed to be a little bit like, you know, but I just felt like there were a few little things that I just wished were not commented on, like, or just little comments and different things that I was just like, is this really necessary? It just kind of made me feel like the character was really young, even though like she was really mature and whatever, but like it made me a little bit uncomfortable. So she's 19, and there were a few times when they called her like a teenage woman or something that made me so fucking uncomfortable, because like 19 is technically, there's teen in it, you know, like whatever, but like it just, to put it that way, makes me feel really uncomfortable. I personally would have liked it much more if she was at least like 20 something. I think that would have been better for me personally. But besides that, when I just kind of ignored that and I pushed it to the back of my head, I did enjoy it, and it was, yeah, it was really steamy. It was fun. I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I was saying 4 stars, but 3.5 is like, I still really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, but I had a few issues. One more thing that I want to say is, I had a similar thing with this book that I said earlier about Tools of Engagement, that it feels like a very cishet book, and it has that vibe very strongly in a different way, but like, yeah. So if that's not something you like, probably again don't read this book. And also, you know, like if you're not into the whole like taboo thing, don't read this book. And also, again, Pike was a little bit alpha male possessive guy. I didn't hate that completely. It wasn't like horrible. But again, if that's something that you really don't like in books, this is again definitely not for you. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. I need to decide which of the last, like what order I'm gonna read the last 2 books in. And I'm probably gonna start the next one today later, so I'll talk to you soon. And yeah. Hi everyone, so I have started the next book, which is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sainz, and holy shit. So I was actually like really in the mood for another adult romance after Birthday Girl, and I thought I would read some maybe like romance novellas or something like that. But then I was just like, I wanted to keep on reading for this video. So I told myself I'm gonna just, I'm gonna start this book and see if I'm in the mood for it. And let's just say when I started it, I was like, okay, I'm reading this. I don't want to stop reading this. So this is a YA contemporary about Aristotle and Dante, who are two Mexican American boys. They're like 15. They basically like run into each other at a swimming pool and then they start hanging out and they become really close friends. It's a book that is about friendship and family and identity, and it's so far, it's just already so beautiful. I'm so invested in the main characters. The writing is so beautiful. It has really short chapters, which I always love, and more books need to have short chapters. And it really reminds me of Kate Ancram's style of writing. It's definitely very different, and like there are different vibes as well. But Kate Ancram writes like there's this similar feeling of like it doesn't follow a standard plot line and plot structure. It just kind of flows through time, and honestly it almost feels like a dream. So that is something that's really similar. So maybe if you've read Kate Ancram's books and you really loved the writing style, I feel like this is similar. Again, definitely not the same at all. Very different vibes. But as someone who absolutely loves Kate Ancram, I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the writing, I'm enjoying the characters, and I'm actually listening to the audiobook and I forgot that it's narrated by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So I was very surprised when I heard his name in like at the beginning, when they say who the narrator is. So if I'm not like the biggest fan, like I don't know, he's fine. Hi everyone, it is time for an update. I'm once again sorry about the lighting in this spot. I finished reading Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, and wow. Okay. It was really impactful and intense, and way more intense than I anticipated. So I knew that this wasn't like, a chill, fun, cute YA contemporary romance, but it was still so much more intense than I expected. Reminder to me and other people to check trigger warnings for books that we read. My thoughts are a little bit like all over the place, but I'm gonna try to, organize them decently. This book is absolutely a coming of age story. It is honestly, to me, as a romance reader, I wouldn't call it a romance at all. There is a tiny romantic subplot, but it's entirely focused on the journey of the main character and everything like that. Like the romance is like the tiniest little part of it. The friendship and everything is definitely a big part of it, but like yeah. Again, this book deals with identity and figuring out your sexuality and kind of also trying to overcome internalized homophobia. And I wish we got a little bit more of that. Yeah, but I do think it was a really powerful story, and one thing that I loved is that the parents were really supportive. So there was some like homophobia outside of that, and there was even something really serious that happened. So again, please make sure to check the trigger warnings. But the close family was really supportive, which I was really happy about. One thing I didn't say is that it's actually set in the 1980s. I just overall really enjoyed the book, but it was really painful, like even more painful than I expected at some points. So do make sure, to know that and go into it knowing that you're in the right mindset, because it's not a light book at all. It definitely has some, beautiful, light, hopeful moments, but just more like moments. And I'm really happy that we're actually getting a sequel, because I really want to see more of Aristotle and Dante together, because I just feel like I just want more. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. It doesn't fully feel like a 5-star, especially in like at the beginning of the second half of the book. The plot, everything that was happening there, I just kind of got a little bit like lost in it, and I wasn't super invested in that part. Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be reading the sequel, and I'm really excited. I think that I could really love it. I don't actually know what the plot is going to be, so I'm going to have a look at Goodreads And yeah, so I'm gonna shut up. It's gonna be time to read the last book, which I'm super fucking excited for. I think I'm probably gonna start it tomorrow, so I'll talk to you then. So it is time for an update. I have been reading the last book for this video, which is Lord of Scoundrels by Loretta Chase. So this is a historical romance, and it's kind of like one of the classics of historical romance. It's like one of the most popular, famous, beloved historical romance books. And I have always, like, I'm still always really scared of like old books in general because I feel like so often there's just kind of like harmful, problematic, bad content in them. And yeah, so I don't like that, but I wanted to give this book a chance because again, Chandler absolutely loved it. So the book does definitely have some questionable content. There have been some things that I definitely didn't really like and that made me a little bit uncomfortable, but I feel like it's not completely horrible to the point where it makes me absolutely despise the book. So I'm going to try to link all the content warnings on my Goodreads, which is linked down below if you want to check that out. Besides that, I am enjoying the book. I don't know what to tell you about the plot. The heroine is such like a witty, badass woman who just like stands up for herself. She's just such a headstrong, independent woman, and she's just so cool, and like I love her. And the hero is definitely like a bit of a dick sometimes, but not to the point to where he's like a horrible person. He just has some issues that he needs to deal with. And they have amazing chemistry and banter. Like I am definitely living for that, and I definitely know why I can see why people enjoy that, and I'm definitely enjoying that. I do feel like the pacing is something that I also have a little bit of an issue with. Like the beginning I felt like was really slow until things started happening. Even now there's quite a few like things happening in the plot that I don't care about, which is definitely a me thing. I just, when I read romances that are actually like a romance, I just want it to be super romance focused. And like I do love when there are like friendships in it and stuff like that, if that takes part of the plot. But if there's anything like other than the romance happening, I just never give a shit. So, and I didn't really say anything about the plot still. So I don't really know how to describe it. They just kind of are caught in like a compromising situation, and they have to have like a marriage of convenience. It does happen quite later on in the story, but I don't think it's like, hopefully it's not like a spoiler because that's like the big thing in it. But yeah, I'm excited to keep reading. I do think that the romance is going to get even better, and I do love the two main characters. They're definitely not without issue, but it's fun. So yeah. Hi everyone, so it is a while later and I managed to finish Lord of Scoundrels. I literally just stopped listening to it and it was really fun. It's not a 5-star, unfortunately, and I wasn't like as in love with it as I was hoping, cause I just, something about, I don't know if it's my brain. I'm very like, if the pacing ever isn't completely like the best, then I get bored really, really, really easily, even when it would be something that wouldn't be boring to other people, if that makes sense. So like I had issues with the pacing sometimes, and obviously some of the very questionable content that I mentioned earlier, and I already added my content warnings to Goodreads, so do check that out if you want to. But I just like, I absolutely fell in love with the two main characters, Dane and Jess. Like, the connection they had, the like romantic moments, the steamy scenes, like all of that was absolutely everything. I loved it. The writing was beautiful, and like I had the best time reading the scenes with them, but I just felt like there was just other random shit happening at some points in the story that I did not give a fuck about. Like around the 80% mark, there was just a lot of shit happening that I could barely focus on because I didn't care about any of it and I just kept drifting off. So I just, like, I loved the two main characters so much that, like, I craved so much more content with them. And I wish we got more. Like, I want more. I want more. But yeah, it was really fun. I don't know how to rate it. I don't know if it's a 4 star or a 4.5, so I'm a little bit conflicted, but it was a great time. It was really quick to read as well, and like I'm really happy that I read the audiobook because again, I had the pacing issues, which the audiobook definitely helped me with. So I am really happy that I read it. I do wish I loved it just like a little bit more. But again, like the romance was absolutely amazing. So I have officially read all the books for this video. It was definitely a success, I would say. Like I enjoyed all of these books. And I absolutely adored Tools of Engagement and Far From the Tree. Do make sure to check out Chandler's channel, and I'm also gonna have her Instagram linked down below because she's absolutely amazing and she made some of my absolute favorite reading vlogs. So if you enjoy reading vlogs, like you have to watch her channel. She has actually like inspired me in so many ways to create the content that I create. I just love her so much, and I have read quite a lot of books like even before this that she recommended, and I really enjoyed them, and there hasn't been anything that I read that I would hate, I don't think. And I really wonder if Chandler would be successful in reading my 5 star books, because like I do know of some books that I loved that she didn't love, but also we have so many common 5 stars that like she might enjoy some of my favorites. So because I always wonder whenever these like all of the videos in this series, which I'm gonna have the playlist thing down below, have been successful so far. Like I haven't hated anything, and I wonder if it's like if I have too low standards or if I'm really that good at like knowing if I'm gonna enjoy something. I think like I don't think I have low standards, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, leave a cat emoji down below. One more thing, because it's funny because like Chandler has 2 cats and I have 2 cats. And I was just watching her latest video yesterday, which was really fun to like watch it as I was reading, you know. And I'm gonna link that down below as well. And she was mentioning how like she was like picking at her face and that like she always has cat hair on her face, and like it's literally me all the time when I film. Like I try to find the hair that's like on my lips or something, I can't fucking find it, and that was just really funny, so I wanted to mention that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and subscribe for more videos like this, and that's gonna be it. Bye!